I really want to thank him for his vision and his hard work and diligence. I mean, he was president of ASA from 1969 until 1995. Um, it's a family business. I think about just all the. I took over when I was 29 years old, which is kind of crazy or hard to believe that it was that long ago. Um, and my father did, I think, a really good job in that transition. He allowed the new management team to lead the company, to make decisions, to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes. And I don't know that I could have done that as well as he did, and kind of letting go and letting people take charge and do things. He had amazing vision and has amazing vision on the kind of projects that we should work on, the kind of products that we should do. But I think the thing that was most important to me that I learned from my dad was appreciating our staff and appreciating our customers and treating people fairly, and basically really having a very honest and ethical business. Those are things that don't have anything to do with computer software or shearing programs or punch cards or tags, but it's really the values that he taught me that I think are the most important that helped me to lead ASA today. And all those traits were really from my dad. I do want to call Jim up to make a few remarks.
That's technology. After that, I don't know if I want to say anything. There's one thing that young man forgets, and that is that in 1995, when we turned the presidency over to Scott, somebody else remained as chairman of the corporation for 5 or 6 years, Scott. I would like to talk for a moment about some of the people that really had a profound effect on me who are not around anymore. The first one that comes to mind was Larry Flack. He was the president of Dambach Corporation here in Pittsburgh. And, we say, well, what did he do? Well, this is what he did. In 1974, we needed a computer. We couldn't afford to lease one because we didn't have the credit necessary to get a computer. And we wanted a DEC computer. And DEC wasn't going to help us especially. So I said, Larry, I'll tell you what. You buy the computer and lease it. We'll give you the investment tax credit, which in those days was 15% of $60,000, and I'll pay for the lease amount every month. And that was what we did, and that was how we got our very first computer. That was pretty nice. Blair Trimble, Steel Service Company. We were at a CRSI meeting in Chicago, and I sat down and talked to Blair. And he said, Jim, he says, you got to raise your prices. I said, what? He says, if you go out of business, we're up the creek. He said, you've got to raise your prices. I said, well, got Florida Steel to worry about. He said, well, I'll talk to Haney. he talked to Haney. The two of them came back and said, okay, you raise your support prices and we'll go on from there. And that's something that happened. Another one was, and it was a Florida Steel guy, was George Camporis, who was the manager of the Atlanta shop. And I guess George must have died 25 years ago. But when just about everybody had given up on the shearing program, he stayed with it. He made it work in Atlanta. And then it spread through the entire corporation and through the whole industry. So I owe these people a great debt of gratitude. And I wanted to mention them because, generally speaking, I don't think anybody would mention them anymore. But they're good folks, and it was important that they were there when I needed them. And with that, I'm going to quit and say thank you. Thank you.
I'll trade you.
Okay.